But there's been a rise in violent crimes and sexual offences against women travelling on the railways. There were over 12,000 incidents of violence in the year running up to the end of March. That is a 59% increase since 2021. And there were almost 2,700 sexual offences, according to the British Transport Police. Well, women-only compartments were a fixture on UK railways from the 1840s all the way up to the 1970s. And they've been used in countries including Japan and India. But I wonder whether you think they're a good idea. We should bring them back. Would it make you feel safer? We'd love to hear from you on this. Let's start with you, Sam.
Yeah, I mean, I use public transport and trains all the time, and lots of the work I do, I have to travel on my own. And of course, I mean, you'll know this, Vanessa, you know, if you're late at night or even during the day, you're just on high alert all the time.
Yes.
Someone gets on rowdy, there's a group of lads, it might be, you know, alcohol, it's dark, you're on your own.
Agreed.
And you're just tense. You're really tense. And I have had people sexually harass me, I have had people try and touch me, I have had incidents where I've had to make a fuss and get someone involved and the British Transport Police involved. So in theory, I love the idea that we create an oasis of safety for when we travel, that we would feel safe. I love the idea, but my concern would be how we police it. How is people making sure that, you know, those are then not being targeted as areas where women are all there and feeling comfortable, and that becomes a new problem. But I love the idea because I wish that you and I could travel on a train or anywhere and not feel that tension that you constantly feel looking over your shoulder. I would love not to feel that.
I really wish I could argue with you on this, but I can't because I feel exactly the same. I travel on the tube all the time, sometimes on the railway, and I know exactly what you mean. You're kind of tense, you're looking around, you're wondering who's going to come and sit next to you, you're wondering who's going to sit opposite you, then you're wondering if somehow or other they're going to kind of engineer either some physical contact with you, some totally inappropriate thing that passes for conversation and is really harassment, or what the hell is going to happen. I completely agree with you. It's absolutely unnerving, and these incidents are far too frequent. I mean, Shaun, it's a fact of life if you're a woman. It just is.
It is, and as I say, those figures are totally unacceptable, and we must create an environment where women should go about and feel safe and feel secure in the knowledge that they can go about their business.
So are women-only carriages?
I personally think it would be a good idea.
You do?
I do. Again, how you police that is another factor altogether. But I also think that where we do see instances where women are being sort of approached when it's unwanted or being sexually, we as a society should call it out, should do something about it. I'm not basically saying that we should sort of throw on Cape Crusaders and basically jump in, but we should do something, call it out, and if you see it, try and alert the train driver or anything, or, you know, by pulling the emergency stop. But we should do something in order to try and create that safe space for women to actually feel safe in the environment.
Jim, I suppose one of the problems with this idea is that it's almost like signposting, as Sam says, this is where the women are. You know, you want to find a woman to harass, look, there's the women-only carriage. Why don't you go there and you can really do your dastardly
and charities
deed.
like the Susie Lamplugh Trust agree with that point, and they highlight that there are concerns around the notion of a women's-only carriage, because if you're not in it, then does that mean you're open to being harassed? I mean, there's a danger of victim blaming here, and we must never blame women and girls for being harassed. It's just wrong. As Shaun was saying, it's got to end. We've got to tackle the culture issue here that's at fault. And again, this is a bit of a sticking plaster solution, and it's not necessarily a bad thing if it creates a safe space right here and now. But the bigger problem has to be addressed. Come on, it's 2025. You know, for guys to go around thinking it's okay to do this, get a life.
I wonder if they think it's okay, or they don't care that it isn't okay.
Well, men who do that are just complete cowards, really.
Yes.
I personally, if I saw something like that, even though I'm a lawyer, what I'm about to say, I would step in, and if it necessarily meant that I had to go to prison to prevent that from happening, I would.
You would?
I certainly would.
Yes. I mean, I think lots of people are scared to have a go. And one of the reasons they're scared is they hear about stabbings, they hear about guns, they think, my God, you know, if I just look the other way or get out and don't get involved, my life goes on as normal. If I do get involved, I might end up in hospital or worse.
Yeah, but I think to sort of stand idly by and see somebody basically sexually harass or approach a woman who doesn't want those advances, I think we have me as a man, I think I have a responsibility to basically call
Yeah,
it.
but you can. There are ways of doing that without necessarily going in,
Yeah.
all guns blazing. You can distract, for example. That's another really good way. So you could intervene between what's happening and say, "Oh, I'm sorry, I don't know what's going on here, but do you mind me asking, where do I get off if I need to change to the Victoria line or something like that?" And suddenly you've broken the dynamic of what's happening. And so that's a non-confrontational way. And there
Yeah.
are lots of others.
We'll go to Caroline. She's in Hertfordshire. Caroline, you've experienced this. You've really experienced what Sam's just been talking about.
Yeah, I have, Vanessa. It was a long time ago, I have to admit, but I used to travel to work on the train every day, and there was one situation where there was a gentleman, shall I say, pleasuring himself
Yes.
Oh,
God.
on the train, and I was the only other person in the compartment, and I obviously left the train and went and spoke to the station master, the person at the ticket desk or whatever, and explained what had happened.
Yeah.
And he kind of said, "Oh yes, that will be Michael," and he's kind of known for that.
Oh no! What? Gosh! Because I had a very similar experience. I was 11 years old, and I was on the top deck of the 26 bus in North London, and a man was doing exactly what Caroline has just described, and I could not tell my parents because they had told me not to go on the top deck.
Oh my
So
goodness.
if I'd said to my mum and dad, this is what I've just seen, I would have been in such trouble, because obviously one of the reasons they didn't ever want me to go up to the top deck on my own was because that sort of thing might happen. So I didn't dare say a word. So I didn't say a word, certainly not to the man himself. But I don't know, Caroline, if you're in the similar position, but I can clearly recall every single facet of it. I can recall his face. I can recall his intimate parts. I can recall the Y-fronts that he had pushed to the side. I was 11 years old. I've never been able to get it out of my mind. I remember it very clearly. Do you in a similar way? Caroline? Is she there?
Vanessa, you and I are kind of similar ages, and this wasn't, an unexpected thing that went on, unfortunately.
So most people, you're saying most women of our sort of age, I was born in 1962, will have seen that on some occasions, and it will have left an imprint on all our consciousness. Wow.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, horrible, isn't it?
It is, and the onus on you as an 11-year-old girl not to go up to the top deck puts the pressure on you. That's not the ideal. The ideal is we have a society where that doesn't happen in the first place, and more men, as Shaun has said, need to step up and intervene if they see it and call it out. Yeah. It's wrong, and it shouldn't be socially acceptable at all.
Absolutely. Well, it isn't, is it? It's not socially acceptable. However, that's kind of the attraction
But nobody
of doing
should be turning a blind eye in any way.
Let's chat to Maria in Portsmouth. Maria, what do you think?
Well, I'm going to shock you all, because we've got to stop stereotyping it. It's men that do all this. Women can behave just as poorly as men towards men on a train or on a bus or anything else. If there's good-looking men there, we can all go, "Oh, he's a bit of all right, isn't he? Oh, you're a bit of all right." And they might find uncomfortable with that.
Really?
We've got to stop stereotyping it. Yeah.
But do you think?
But when
the
where
British,
I live in Portsmouth, it's a sea town with the Navy. And some of the girls, when they see the Navy men coming on, oh my God, you don't want to know.
On the other hand, the British Transport Police have given us all those statistics, Maria, and I don't think they're of women, making sexually inappropriate remarks to men, are they? Those are women who've been harassed.
I have sat on the train, Vanessa, and heard women speak appallingly towards a couple of young men. And they were very terminology sexual towards young men.
Did you?
But they were of the same age group.
Did you call it out? Did you say anything?
I did.
What did you say?
I did. I literally turned around to them and said, "Look, I'm old enough to be all your mothers, and I find your behaviour appallingly. I don't want to hear language like that while I'm sat here, so behave yourself."
Good for you. Yeah. Absolutely good for you.
Well, that's me, Vanessa. That's how I do it, love.
What do you think? I know that's true. You call me a lot, and I know that. Tell me something, though, Maria. What do you think of women-only carriages? A good idea or not?
No, because then you're going to segregate people all the time, and you're going to put the sense of making people feel scared. And we shouldn't be doing that.
All right,
we should be
appreciate
treating
the call,
each other
Maria.
with
Thank you so
fairness.
much. A very forthright lady, Maria is.